Superman has taken over the planet, and his son from another timeline isn't happy with these results. Can he do anything? Jon Kent is the son of Superman on the Prime Earth. He has been brought into the multiverse to stop a murderous Ultraman, but they ended up in the Injustice universe where the Injustice Superman killed Ultraman. He now has been trying to convince Jon that what he did is the right thing, and that Jon should stay and help him. Jon has been seeing an entirely different side of this conflict, and has been talking with the Bat family and the individuals in Gotham, and got the advice of Jay Nakamura. This is Comicstorian. We dive into current comic books as an audio drama, letting you know what's going on in the world of comic books so you know what to go out and buy for your own collection. Today we're going to be covering Jon Kent Superman number 5. As Jon secretly meets with the Resistance, he learns more about what happened 5 years ago, when the Joker found a way to combine kryptonite with Scarecrow gas. And Clark saw something that wasn't there. He thought he was protecting Lois and their child from doomsday. He was trying to save them, and he lost his whole world in the process. As Batman finishes explaining how things changed for the heroes of the world, Jon folds his arms. He didn't lose his world. It's still here. He faced a terrible tragedy. I can feel for him. But none of that is an excuse for what he has done and what he's become. Now, I could see you doing that, Batman. Not the killing, because of your code, but I could see you overreaching, making sure that everyone on Earth was bulletproof. But not Superman. He doesn't get a pass because he's grieving. He needs to still be held accountable. Everyone goes quiet, and they look at Jon as he asks, "What's wrong?" Batgirl tells him, "Hearing you talk like that." Jon stops her. "I sound like him before all of us, don't I?" But Catwoman stops him. "No, you sound like Lois." Clark fought for truth, but Lois lived it. Harley then takes her turn to speak up, telling him that she knows this is going to sound weird since she had a hand in killing his mother, and him, sort of, but she just wanted to say she's sorry. Jon asks her, "For what? Murdering me?" Yeah, I didn't think. It was Superman, you know? He always finds a way. I just thought it was a game. I didn't think the Joker would win." Jon glares at her. "You stood beside the Joker. What are you after? Forgiveness? Well, that's not happening. You helped a monster, and you're gonna have to live with that. But while you're living with it, do better. Be better. Make a difference. Help. It's the only chance you get to make things right." Meanwhile, over at the Hall of Justice, Superman looks down at the captured Jay Nakamura, asking, "What is the meaning of this, Damian?" "This is Jay. Jon is really close to him in his world." "You are drastically overstepping, Damian. Release him." "No, you're the one being blinded by Jon's face. You don't realize how dangerous this is." Superman pauses. He looks Damian up and down. "Are you jealous? There's no reason for you to be." "Why the hell wouldn't I be? You only met him yesterday, and you stood by him from the start." Superman stops him again. "You don't have to worry about Jon. He isn't a threat." "So then why don't we go ask Jon then?" "Oh wait, we can't, because he's not here. But it doesn't matter. I slipped a tracker onto Jon's suit when he wasn't looking." Damian brings Superman into the operations room, pointing at the screen, telling him, "There! He's outside of Gotham." Superman looks at the monitor. "There's nothing there." "Exactly. No structure. He has no reason to be there. We should gather the League and..." "No. We wait until Jon leaves. Then we strike." Back in the underground bunker, Batgirl asks, does this mean that Jon is with them? Jon tells her that he spoke with a friend, and they've explained what's been happening. He is with Batman and the Resistance, but he isn't sure what that even means yet. He doesn't want to fight Superman. Really, he doesn't want to hurt anyone. "You may not have a choice," Batman tells him. And Batgirl chimes in. "Why don't you use Ultraman's weapon then? We could drain Superman's power." And Catwoman wants to know what about the rest of the League. So Batman holds up a pill. "We have what we need to stand up against them." "Sure, we have super pills, which are good for not exploding when getting hit by Wonder Woman. But what if we get thrown into space? Batman goes on. I can draw Superman out. I'll find a way to ensure that he's alone, or at least divide up the league so that they're easier to pick off. We'll start tomorrow. For now, we prepare, we rest. Batgirl tells him that they shouldn't let Superman grow suspicious, so Jon agrees he should probably head back. But first he has to check on a message someone left for him. But it's after an hour of Jon leaving that the Resistance has begun to make their preparations for their fight, when their alarms suddenly go off. Batgirl checks the computer. I got a message from Luthor. He's coming. Superman is... But before she could finish, there's an explosion that rocks everyone to the ground. Superman and the rest of the League descend in. Hello, Bruce. Bruce demands that everyone take their pills, but as he reaches for his, Superman uses his heat vision to destroy the bottle. No. Catwoman lunges at Superman, and without him even reacting, Wonder Woman defends him by delivering a powerful hit with a loud echoing crack to Selina's head. Superman then flies over, grabbing Batman by the neck as he's in shock that Selina was just dropped. And as he struggles for air, he asks, how? Superman tells him it's because of Jon. Jon led them there. I don't believe you. It's true, Father. He led us right to you. He just didn't know. I set him up. Aren't you proud? But back with Jon, he enters the Crystal Fortress where he intends to play the crystal message that Lois gave him before embarking on his journey. He puts the crystal in, and the image of Lois appears. She starts off stating that she is sorry for what he had to go through, for all the trauma he had to face head-on with Ultraman. She wishes that she could be there to look after him, but she knows that he has to do this alone. Even after what Ultraman did, it would be easy for him to hate, but she knows, even now, he doesn't hate him. It's remarkable. He has chosen to confront his greatest fears to help strangers, and that's what makes him a Superman. As the message finishes, a voice says how they miss Lois. Jon turns back, seeing the Jonathan and Martha Kent of this world confined to the Fortress of Solitude, who seem just as surprised to see him as he is to see them. They apologize. It's just, it wouldn't be the first time that we spoke to a Superman outside of our timeline. As Superman's parents, we have had to take on some very strange things. Jon says that he imagines raising an alien who fell out of the sky was good preparation for that. Martha asks, are you related to Clark? He tells them yes, but not their Clark. But yes, his name is Jon. Jonathan shakes his hand. Good name. Jon explains that he was named after him. He was named after his grandfather. So Martha asks if he's their son, the one that they lost. Jon explains that he is the son of Lois and Clark, but he doesn't know who would have been born into this universe. But really, why are his grandparents here, away from everything in the Fortress of Solitude? Martha says that Clark is keeping them here for safety. Jon asks, you've been locked in a fortress for your own protection? I'm sensing a theme. My boy is hurt. He's lost, and we can't reach him. I want to help him, but I also want to help your worlds too. I may have to stop your son to do it. Martha gives him a weak smile. If you can help steer Clark from the path that he's on, you would be helping him. At that moment, a transmission begins to play, with Superman making a broadcast to the entire world. I would like to announce that the terrorist threat known as Batman has been captured, along with his insurgent unit. Tomorrow morning, Selina Kyle and Barbara Gordon will be imprisoned for their part in the insurgency that threatened the whole world. Bruce Wayne and Harleen Quinzel will be executed for their many crimes against humanity. The time of terror has come to an end. As Batman is taken away, he shouts out, Jon will stop you! No, he won't. I assure you, Jon will. Because he's Superman, and that still means something to him. He's your son, with all of your morals. It took less than 48 hours for him to decide to stand against you. Harleen then says, maybe that's something you can take away from. And Superman grabs her by the face, yelling, after everything that you've done, after everything that you took from me, you think you get to advise, to analyze, to even speak. After tomorrow, you will never open that damned mouth again. And that brings us to Jon Kent, Adventures of Superman, Issue 5, Prelude or Road or whatever they're calling it to Injustice. I don't know where this is going or what's going to happen. It's called Road to Injustice. Does this mean that the next issue is going to resolve all of this and Jon's going to go home happy-go-lucky, regretting that he was ever a part of this? Or does this mean that this is going to branch into a whole new thing? I've yet to see anything going on with this or where it's going, and I'm very intrigued, because wrapping this up will be amazing, but also wherever this goes could be amazing. But what do you guys think down below? Do you want Jon's adventures in the world of Injustice to continue? Or do you want this to kind of wrap up and get Jon back to the mainline DC universe? Now make sure you like and subscribe, because there's a giant event going on in DC, and so far, it's amazing. It's known as Night Terrors, and we're going to be starting that up within the next day or two. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.